Meanwhile, while all of this is happening on the internet and everybody's putting this young woman's name in their mouth, Nara Smith is baking cinnamon rolls for her husband to return home to. But let's get down to the bottom of what's really happening here with Nara Smith and why she is the subject matter of so many videos on the internet. The reality is that people want to be Nara Smith. She is a 22-year-old woman who is beautiful and married and is taking care of children and cooking amazing food and doing it all whilst working as a model. She is juggling and spinning plates at the same time, and people can't stand to see her do it and do it successfully.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Bridge Reacts, The Bridge Between Us, and I'm your host, Marcus. Thank you so much for stopping by to see another episode here at The Bridge, where we are talking about, bridging the gap between men and women, masculine and feminine energies, decreasing the divorce rate, adding into marriages, long-lasting relationships, so we can build a better, stronger, much more efficient working class and community. And if you like the channel, like the vision, it'd be nice for you to support us. Hit the like button and subscribe as well. Today's video, we are talking about the ongoing trend of demonizing tradition, or looking down and looking at traditional values as a terrible thing and negative is. We all know things in the past, history. There have been a lot of great discoveries, great things that work for us as humans, for our society, for men and women alike, just for the world in general. But then there's a lot of things that also has happened we've learned from previous experiences and trial and error that is a terrible idea. Like lobotomy is a great example. Things that obviously, smoking like packs of cigarettes a day are actually healthier somehow, and uranium for children, stuff like that. That is just obviously a horrible, terrible ideas for us. And we know now not to do that, right? So I think we are hitting this threshold in the culture when it comes to like dating and stuff like that, where traditional values, roles to an extent. I know that sounds like a terrible thing to start off with because those are all demonized these days, but a lot of these things seem as though they are no longer needed or they are frowned upon. And once again, demonized as if they are not helpful, and they have never been helpful for a lot of our existence as human beings. And then even in today's world, a majority of partnerships and marriages, relationships do kind of function with some level of tradition and values and roles. With that long drawn out explanation, let's go ahead and get straight to it. Today's video is actually by Miss Amala. I think I'm saying her name right. I've been watching her for a while now. Absolutely love her channel. She was at PragerU, and now she has her own thing. They make a lot of great content, great topics, phenomenal topics. I'm gonna react to more of her videos in the future for sure. But if you like her content, please check it out. It's great content, great channel. Please subscribe, like button as well. We're gonna get straight to it. Let's go ahead and talk about it and make this a shorter video, but I'm glad you guys stopped by. Let's get to it.
This is so good.
Vanilla peach jam. I went to the grocery store a couple days ago.
She's just a little odd. Like, she said she liked Cherry as a girl's middle name.
This influencer has set the internet on fire with criticism of her and her lifestyle, and her big offense is that she's a trad wife who takes care of her husband and kids and does it all while being hot. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better.
Anyone else missing the negative, terrible, horrible thing that people are just so upset about?
Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into this video, a big shout out to everybody who's become a patron so far on my Patreon. We don't like having host-read ads on this platform, and the reason we're able to keep them off is because of our patrons. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for doing what you do. Now, let's talk about Nara Smith and her setting the internet on fire with her lifestyle.
Really
the girl is everywhere these days, and we're gonna talk about why in just a second. But really, for some background on her, she is a very successful model who is married to another very successful model by the name of Lucky Blue Smith. Together, they raised 3 children, I believe, and she documents her life on the internet. She's very popular for her cooking videos where she shows what she makes for her toddlers, her husband, and herself, and she does so whilst looking very beautiful in virtually every single video she posts. Now, you would think that Nara Smith's content would be pretty innocuous. There doesn't seem to be much of a reason why she should be receiving so much criticism on the internet, but we're gonna get into that right now. Her name is everywhere, and from from all different angles, people are deciding to criticize this young woman. Many black people, and black women in particular, are criticizing Nara for having married a Mormon man and seemingly practicing Mormonism, as she references in her videos that many times when she wakes up in the morning, she decides to read scripture. Their belief is that Mormonism is an inherently racist religion and that she should not be married to a white guy who practices said religion, even though he's a white man that has chosen to marry a black woman and have her biracial children. So make that make sense. Others.
A little thing about Amala here. So let's pause it for a second. She's actually biracial. I believe she said her mother is white and her father is Nigerian, I believe, Ghanaian. He's black, like black, right? No disrespect. If this Mormon type of dude, and if it is inherently racist, I don't know enough about that. To be fair, I don't know enough about that information. Mormonism or being Mormon. If that is racist, then why did he make a black woman his wife? I mean, other than she's very attractive, she's a model, but it's like, why would you have kids with her and bring her around in your family? I'm imagining, you know. So I don't know if that's really the case. But we'll dive a little bit deeper into this video. Just a little synopsis about Amala, and I don't know if she's going to say that in this video, but let's get straight to it.
Are criticizing Nara, saying she's not smart enough, that she gives off lobotomy vibes. Here's the TikTok about that.
It's been my new late night snack obsession. Don't know whether I'm late to this, whether people are doing this already or not.
Others are saying that her lifestyle is unrealistic. How dare she film making food for her toddlers and husband while wearing such extravagant clothes and all in all looking beautiful during the process.
I feel like the lifestyle and the outfits and how they dress and how they act and their aesthetic is coveted, but I don't think it's realistic at all. I honestly don't think she's putting her toddlers to bed in a...
She thinks that it's not realistic for a lady to still appear attractive while making food for her family. Am I missing something?
Cherry, you know what that sounds like. An exotic dancer's name. Like, they look like they come out of a catalog. And I just think that must be so tiresome. Like, props to them. A lot of work must go into it, you know? Y'all are lucky if I put makeup on for my videos.
And I guess if you needed more shallow reasons to dislike this woman, Nara Smith is also 22 years of age. So many are hopping on the internet saying, we should abduct Nara Smith and show her the real life of a 22-year-old. She needs to be drinking alcohol, doing drugs, and going to the club.
I'm your Uber driver. Get in.
I didn't order an Uber.
Now, as I said before, Nara is also very popular on the platforms that she posts on, so luckily there are many coming to her defense. But some of them are taking a very interesting angle. Their take on the situation is that the reason Nara is receiving such criticism for her lifestyle and what she chooses to do in a day in the life is because she is a black woman who has found success. And that this is in fact a ton of white people who hate to see a successful, beautiful black woman marry a white man and lead a successful life as a mom.
Like maybe a little bit boring and people think that she's like a little bit stupid, but in a way that I really enjoy, where people are kind of freaking out about her kids' names and being like, well, what are they gonna do when they have to go interview for it doesn't matter when they interview for a job because they're actually extremely wealthy. It does not matter, I promise. But it's like, are those things not just what white women do on this app every day?
So somehow both the criticism and the defense of this woman.
I'm not trying to like harp on the whole race thing, but she kind of had a point. To me, the whole Cherry name, I don't like. If her name was like Diamond or Champagne or Cinnamon, like that's a little. I would name my future daughter that, but Cherry. I don't know. It's a middle name.
Meanwhile, while all of this is happening on the internet and everybody's putting this young woman's name in their mouth, Nara Smith is baking cinnamon rolls for her husband to return home to. But let's get down to the bottom of what's really happening here with Nara Smith and why she is the subject matter of so many videos on the internet. The reality is that people want to be Nara Smith. She is a 22-year-old woman who is beautiful and married and is taking care of children and cooking amazing food and doing it all whilst working as a model. She is juggling and spinning plates at the same time, and people can't stand to see her do it and do it successfully.
I thought jealousy was a part of this too. I could be wrong, but I think there's some jealousy going on here. She is very, very attractive physically. You know, I don't know who this lady is to the core of her, but she was chose. Some model dude, he married her, so I guess she was okay, decent, right? And she is very young still, 22 years old, has her family, has this lifestyle where she can dress however she wants, still support her family and love her family and be more of a traditional wife in a sense, right? But like, why are y'all so upset? Why is she blowing up from, like, she's not trying to even talk down on any woman who takes a different route in life. She's not even trying to say this is how you should be. She's literally just taking care of her family and videoing it while still looking nice and attractive with her outfits and all this other stuff, right? So why are you so upset about it?
Her lifestyle flies in the face of this modern day feminist narrative that people are subscribing themselves to, and young women in particular. Nara is 22 years of age, and she's not obliterating her body with alcohol, heading to the club every weekend, hooking up with random guys, or on her way to starting an OnlyFans. Not using her 20s to...
Just pause it right there and let that sink in. Where does it say anywhere in the guidebook of being individual young adult these days, for ladies specifically on this topic, that you need to indulge in all these different acts of like drugs, alcohol, partying, bodies, like where does it say that that's something that actually is going to benefit you and make you feel good about yourself later on in life versus in the moment? Maybe like, why must you take this route in life where you need to pick up the pieces in your 30s and then expect a man to really take you serious when you've collected all this trauma, problems, potential drug or alcohol addiction and or addiction as well, right? So last, I'm gonna pause it. Go ahead, Amala. Sorry.
Find herself or engage with this feminist utopian view of independence or dating 1,000 guys with no real vision for the future. In fact, people I think are pissed that Nara Smith seems to have already found herself, that she's grounded herself in a set of values that are specific to her and what she wants out of life, and that she is in fact exercising her independence through the lifestyle of being married and having children. I think jealousy and envy is really what's at the heart of all this criticism that she's receiving. In fact, I don't think it has very much at all to do with her race and her being a black woman, because we see this very same criticism levied to white women who choose a similar lifestyle. We actually have a piece of controversy to point to from another influencer to really support this point. Hannah of Ballerina Farm is also an influencer who documents her life as a wife and mother in a Mormon family. Now, Hannah landed herself in hot water recently because she posted a video of her getting ready for the Miss World pageant that was taking place in Las Vegas this January. She was getting ready for that because she was crowned Miss America last year. Now, why is this controversial? Why are people hating? It's because Hannah had a baby 12 days prior to getting ready for this Miss World pageant and still managed to make it there. People were saying that this is an unrealistic depiction of postpartum motherhood, that how dare she showcase something like this.
Is it unrealistic even after it already happened?
And set an example for other mothers who may not have the same bounce back effect that she did. Does that criticism make sense to you? Or does it again sound like jealousy and envy? Of course.
And I want to put it, my last thing. You can use the same kind of thing and twist it on its head or turn it on its head and say, like, say for instance, like a black woman who became the first individual of the Supreme Court of America, this, that, and third, whatever, someone achieved something that seemed as though it is unrealistic and it's not possible. We applaud and cheer that, right? Because it's something so amazing that you've accomplished this. You've done the thing that's outside the norm, what typically people cannot achieve or cannot do. And you're giving little girls hope. Isn't that the whole thing? Giving the younger audience hope that they can possibly achieve that. So what is she doing? Is she not giving other ladies hope that they can achieve other things and not, just do the traditional thing of just maybe giving birth and then you're sitting there for a while? I'm not trying to speak on all this, right? This video is not long enough for me to get too deep into it. She was able to do this. Doesn't mean it's impossible or it's unrealistic. Maybe it's something that's not traditional or happens often. That's fair. Like being the Supreme Court, the first black woman to do that, right? However, it's possible. Barack Obama, the first black African-American individual of color to be president, it is not unachievable anymore. It doesn't seem as though it's impossible because he made it happen. Is it likely? Is it going to happen again? Who knows? Whatever. But you did it. Shouldn't that be something to, commend instead of condemning? I don't know. Something to think about.
We know not all mothers will be able to do that, but why are you upset at the mother who can? And we can use that very same analysis when looking through the hate comments and hate videos that are directed towards one Nara Smith. Not only is she turning the feminist narrative on its head, but she's also beautiful, and she's also happy, and she's also successful, and she's managed to find success in the realm of influencing, which is the dream of many young women these days. And for some reason, this is breaking people's brains, yet she's the one that has the lobotomy. By every important indicator that I have, it seems like Nara Smith has her life together. And I think what feminists need to really grapple with is the fact that if you are going to subscribe yourself to feminism, that involves all women having the right to choose their life and their path. And sometimes that's going to include the path of being married. That's going to include the path of motherhood. It's going to include the path of cooking and cleaning. And somehow Nara Smith is managing to do all that while also living what some would believe to be a feminist dream of modeling and being an influencer. And if you spend half the time working on your own life and your own path as you do criticizing Nara Smith, you'd probably be in a more successful place in life. Because I can guarantee you, she is not sitting at home scrolling on TikTok, listening to your videos where you talk about the fact that you hate that she's Mormon, or you hate that she's so put together, or you hate the food she makes for her husband.
Yep, she's at home actually being happy and worrying about herself, her family, and the love, the unit they're working towards, that unity. That's what she's actually doing, unlike a lot of y'all. Anyways, my final thoughts. I don't see the real reason other than to destroy the family unit. Let's just get straight to it right now. To destroy the family unit, the nuclear family, and to really try to lie to a lot of women these days, especially around my age range, that, hey, the much more fulfilling lifestyle is to live for yourself, live by yourself, live only for yourself, and care about only yourself. And then maybe you might have a change of heart, especially when the biological clock ticks later on, and then you're expected to find the same amount of guys who have been knocking at your door since you were in your teens. Then a lot of them already have families now. A lot of them have moved on. A lot of them may be doing worse in life and you're not interested in them at all. Or then a lot of them might be doing better and they're still going after women who are younger than you, that still have that fertility, that still have that more of a I'm more marriage-minded mindset than what you had. But you don't think about that, and it's not your fault. You're a victim. If you are upset, you're turned off from anything about this video, you feel triggered. Maybe you are much more of a radical feminist, third, fourth wave is what I'm getting at, not the original meaning of it. And maybe, just maybe, you're the problem. Maybe, just maybe, you are a victim. You've been lied to. You've been persuaded to believe something that is not inherently true, biologically true, fundamentally true, a primal instinctively true. Things that just go against us as people, as organisms, as in a sense, mammals, animals, whatever. We're still human, but it's like we have our own tendencies, very much so like animals. So there is a biological thing that goes on in the brain there where we can't really deter away from. It's a reference point. A lot of ladies like certain things that ladies liked back in the day. A lot of men like certain things that men liked back in the day. We don't really change much. We just change with the technology and everything that has evolved around us. That's really basically my point. You're probably a victim. If you're upset about this and you get upset about women being themselves and being happy, being married young and doing stuff for their family, their husband, that upsets you. That says a lot about you, I guess. I don't know. It's just weird to me because I thought it was all about choice. That was her choice. Why are you mad at her for choosing? Especially when she's happy. I don't get it. But hey, I'm rambling now. Tell us what you think in the comment section. If you like the video, you like the channel, please check out Amala, video, her channel. I butchered that, sorry. But you guys have a nice one. Stay blessed. Stay thankful for what you have. Work on yourself and stop, worrying about other people maybe. You might be happier, But you guys stay safe. Have a nice one. Bye.